guys, so here is a look that I wanted to show you. It's kind of a look I did for last Saturday, so hopefully this is a good video. I hope you guys like it. If you guys do want more videos, just let me know, text me, you know who you are. Just let me know and I would love to do this. This actually was really fun to do. I loved just doing my makeup more than I do on the weekends because of course for work I don't really do this, so hope you enjoy. So what I did was I moisturized my face with my First Aid Beauty. It's gorgeous. I freaking love this. It's oil-free mattifying gel. It takes away my oil and also it actually moisturizes at the same time because I'm very oily in my T-zone, of course, and super dry right here. Next I'm going to go in with my Farsali Unicorn Essence. Little goes a long way on this one, ladies. This is literally my go-to ever since it came out. I love it so much. Just little drops here and there. And I rub it in. And I actually put it on some of my eyes because I'm going to use this as a face primer, or eye primer too. And keep going until you start, if you're using this, keep going until it starts feeling a little tacky, because if you go too much it's going to start peeling and kind of jumbling up. If I don't use certain foundations, if I use let's see, my Clinique, I will also add my Urban Decay De-Slick because this is kind of an extra non-moving thing. But since I'm using my Fenty foundation today, I am not going to use that because this is actually really, like, you'll stay in place. So I go in there and I do 1, 2 pumps. I am the type of person that will not use a beauty blender to just like put it in my hand and I'll dab it on there. No, I go in with foundation brush. This, I'm gonna buy the frickin' the original because this one I got for free going into VIB Rouge. It is the Pro Flawless Airbrush foundation brush. Freaking love this. So I go in, grab my mirror here, go in and I start dabbing away on there, go on my chin here and work. So you have to understand I did do 2 bumps. I am also staying away from my crease area and I will tell you why when I get there, or sorry, my under eye area. And I go in right away and I blend it and I just slowly take my time doing so. So this foundation is really great. Only thing is that it does oxidize, so it will go a shade darker than you are. So you have to really get your what is it, foundation match. They'll match you right away with the one that does match you, but what you do is after they match you, let them give you the bottle and then just walk around and see how the color goes when it's like about 20-30 minutes in, and you'll see the difference. This one I got very lucky and it stayed. Let's see, yeah, so it stayed. Slowly just working around in there, still 2 pumps, just going in there, just getting spots. And what I do is I put it on first right away and I work it right away, because if you don't work with it right away and you did use your brush, you're gonna get those streak marks and you don't want that. And what I've learned too, being a combination skin, this does help with dry and oily skin, especially around my dry areas. Sometimes you can see how dry it gets, so I use my beauty blender to moisten that up a bit. I hate that word, but it's the best word to describe. Going in another, so this is one side of my face is already done. I'm gonna go again, 1, 2 pumps, so that's 4 pumps. 4 pumps. Seriously, count how many pumps you do when you do your beauty blender. So go in and I look where I need to add. Again, this foundation is a buildable coverage. It starts as a medium and then it goes up. So I'm going to use the rest of what's left on my little palette here. Go up here because this is where a lot of stuff tends to go away. I don't want to get that full coverage right there, especially since my pores are really disgusting on this side. Please don't mind my zits. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with my Tarte Shape Tape. I love this concealer. I actually use Boing sometimes too. This one is really good when we're going to go, like if you're going to want to go out, this is kind of one that you don't, it doesn't budge. Really full coverage on this one. This is when you have like purple eyes under, you know, even when you get the really dark eyes. So I'm going to go in there. And before I do this, I pour my setting powder on here. This is my translucent powder. It is Airspun translucent extra coverage. Got this at Walmart, about, say about 10 bucks. I always do that. This is one of my favorites. Other ones I do use is Tarte. I've tried Laura Mercier. I really like it, but I'm on a budget. Can't be spending so much on those powders. And this is my really go-to. I set my under eyes, and I sometimes, like, if I really don't want my face to move, or like when I'm on my monthly thing and I'm super oily on my face, I will set my entire face on this so it doesn't budge. I've noticed that nothing creases when I use this. So I'm gonna go in and like that. Since I have a round face, I learned this from Patrick Starr and from Jaclyn Hill. I am not going to put my concealer all the way to the side. That's only if you really have like a nice narrow face, but mine's like a little chunky wide face here, so I'm going to try to keep that in, and I don't want to accentuate how wide my face is. So I do a nice little triangle right there. And sometimes if I'm feeling bally, I just go like that. And then if I did my eyebrows, actually I'll just do that later. I'll go in there. If I can close this. And I go in and just start blending. And what I do for this is I look up so I can get everything. I want it in there. I want everything. And the reason why I didn't put foundation there is because if you have creases, and I've learned this actually from Nikki tutorials, if you have a lot of stuff on there, on your creases, the more it's going to build up and the more it's going to accentuate your lines. You don't want that. I freaking hate my lines. Go in there with some extra product. And if you notice, I did pull some of my concealer up above my eye and underneath my brow bone. The reason being is because I'm going to use it as a primer also. Kind of just this setting primer. Go under my eyebrows. Since I've already got all my under eyes done, I'm going to go into my translucent powder. And I get a little bit. This technique I learned from Jaclyn Hill. I freaking love this. Get a little bit, yes, same beauty blender, and go in and just set underneath your eyes because you don't want it to move and you don't want it to crease. And just, oops, that's a little too much, but get in there and just set it because you don't want it to move. And just go in. Right away, because if you don't do this right away, things will crease. Okay. And then after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my Kat Von D blotting powder. This is for my face powder, but what you can do, you can go use this, take your face brush, just go in there and set your entire face. Or if you don't have a face powder, you can take the setting powder, get a little bit, and just that, and then just brush away. Just set your face because you don't want anything to move. And after you do this, you don't want to put any liquids on them, so you better be done with all your liquids. Because once you go powder and set everything, you're gonna look cakey if you add any more liquids after this. Like seriously, you will look super cakey. It's not gonna look good. So after you set your face, you go in again and get a nice amount and literally start dabbing on there. So just go in again. Don't be shy. And yes, you're using the same beauty blender again. That is why I clean my brushes and my sponges after I use these. I use my little spray, and my beauty blender I clean it with baby soap so it can live and be clean every time I use it. I'm gonna go right there. I go into my small line so nothing creases in there. I go those little cracks right there. A little crack right there. So you don't want your foundation to crease in there. Go right there, go right there. My nose tends to move, so I dab it there. Go right in there. Bake it right there. And you know how your chin moves a lot, or like you hug people and you touch it a lot? Just this technique, literally, I learned from Jaclyn Hill, of course. Bake your face. Bake it. And what I do while this is baking, so I don't have to like know when to like clean it up, I will go in and start my face makeup or my eye makeup, and I'm just gonna do a nice little basic thing. I'm using my 35OM, so it's the matte palette, and I'm going to start with this, and I'm going to set my eye so that I have a nice, easy canvas to start on. Just go in there and get that ready. Learned from a lot of the YouTube bloggers that doing this makes everything super easy to do. And yes, it does make everything easy. It's like a nice little new canvas, and it makes the colors blend like super, like you don't have to worry about it. Sorry, nose is stuffy, but it does. I'm gonna take, where is my favorite brush? I'm gonna take my Morphe M200. This brush is, I love this brush. I really do. I am gonna use this to build up my color. So I'm going to use, hold on here, I am going to start with this color, and we're going to build up our shadow. So literally, you don't just slap it on with a dark color. I really learned that from a lot of the YouTube bloggers that I've watched, like Manny and Laura Lee, freaking Patrick Star, my favorites. You build up your color. And I love using a mirror because I can actually look down and just play with it. Go up a little bit higher so you can get that nice little smoky eye. Don't be shy. Really, don't be shy. It's really trial and error. You have to see what really works for you. My eyelids are literally, they're really small, so I have to kind of, I played with it so much, it's ridiculous. Okay, now I'm going to go into a nice little darker color, kind of not too dark, so I'm going to go right here. Actually, yeah, I'm going to mix these two and just play with it. I'm going to go right here on the outer corner of my eye with those two colors. Sorry, with those two colors, and just go back and forth and just build on that outer V. And you see that, like, as you build up, you're having that nice shadow look and the nice transition look, not this like dirty look, you know. And of course you want to blend it out. You don't want any harsh lines, like you stamped it on. Okay, and now I'm going to go into that darker brown right there and play with that, the excess. Go right there and just add that on. And then just blend it out. Gonna be that nice shadow. I don't know why my eye is being funky today. And just go in there at the end and just blend. I overdid it on this side, but whatever. And then I am gonna take one of my other brushes, actually not that one, another eyeshadow brush, and I'm gonna do like a nice transition. So I'm gonna take this middle color right here. This is a really pretty color, and I'm gonna just right here in the middle of my eye, add that on there as a nice little blend of eye. And we'll blend it in the end. And then I am going to take my other eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to take, actually, I am going to use, I'm going to take this eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to use my 350S, my Shimmer Morphe palette, and And now you go in, sorry, my nose itches. Go in again with your little blending brush and just slowly, you know what, I'm going to take a smaller blending brush and just blend that in. Take some of that color again from your matte palette. And just blend it. So it's a nice transition color. And that is Chelsea. Just blend. And blend it. And then I take a different little, take my naked heat palette brush. I take that one, and I'm gonna take a nice little neutral color and just clean up the sides because I don't want it to be so harsh. Holy crap! Go in there and just blend everything. And just blend it out. And that is it. Oh my god. And there's your eye look. I will go back because my face is starting to be done with baking. So that is the eye look. Go back with my brush and blend it out. What I do to get my color back, I use my Kat Von D. Just go over it. Clean up anything, all that will fall out. Okay, and I'm gonna go in with my little pencil brush, and I'm gonna mix the two matte colors so I can get the under eye smoky. And holy crap, please don't judge me right now. So I'm gonna use these two colors again. Now I'm gonna go into my contouring. I'm going to use my Hoola bronzer. Take my little fluffy brush from Sonia Kashuk. Go in there And I'm gonna do a transition color. Best thing to do is do a 3. It's a nice little 3. And just work it in. You want a nice transition color because if you just go in with that bronze or the contour color, you're gonna just look dirty. Well, look muddy. I don't know why I keep saying dirty. Just transition in there. Go in underneath. Then I'm gonna go with my little bronzer brush. You could also use this one if you really want a dramatic feel for it, but let's just do the basic one right now. And if you guys do want the whole dramatic, I can do that too. So I use my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Medium Deep. And I'm going to go in there with my Beauty Blender again and just cut my contour so it has a nice line. So I'm going to use my Revolution palette I got from my sister-in-law and use these blushes because I can't find the other one. Oh, God. The F. Sorry, one thing was on, so I'm going to use these. And for my skin tone, I try to go for a nice dark, like a natural blush, because if I use this, then I'm going to look wrong. So I'm going to go for either these two, actually these 3. So I'm actually going to use, let's see here, I'm going to use this color right here for my blush. So I take a nice little fluff brush, and I'm going to use that bottom one. And you're going to go on top of your cheek right here. So you're going to go to apples. Sometimes you don't have to, but just like build up the coverage. So go on your apples and then just sweep above. I'm going to take my Morphe M176. I use this for my highlights for you highlight lovers. And I'm going to use my Jeffree Star Eclipse. And if you want, you can right here. I don't like doing this because it makes my nose look super oily, and I hate my nose looking oily. And I just do a little explanation point. Go right here and get that so you have a little oomph on your lips. Same thing on the bottom. I also fail. Okay, and then brush that off right here. Same thing right here. And just buff a little bit. I'm gonna finish my eyes and I'll be right back. So here's the finished look. What I do afterwards is I use a setting spray. I'm gonna try, well, I did try this. It's the Slay All Day setting spray. Nikkiajoy actually did a collab with, what is it? Gerard Cosmetics. There you go. So just let it set. And that is the finished look. You know, really thank you to everyone that did want this video. I loved actually doing it. I did post this on YouTube so I can be able to send it out. So if you are not one of my friends that asked this and you are commenting below, if you have nothing nice to say, just at least make it funny, be something that I can actually be entertained by. But again, thank you to my friends that wanted this video and wanted me to do just my little face look of what I did the other day. Again, thank you, love you. Let me know what you guys think.